Hi, it's Campbell Such. This is Mind Bite Thursday, and today I'd like to talk to you about how our brains aren't really built to cope with exponential change and what you might be able to do to help your thinking deal with that. As humans, we developed on the Savannahs of Africa some 200,000 years ago. The environment then was local and linear, not much changed over a long period of time, and everything kind of was local. And today we live in global and exponential times where changes are constant and the rate of change is increasing, and where we're connected globally. And our brains just aren't built to cope with that. When we project into the future, we tend to look back into the past and project linearly into the future. And we tend to massively underestimate what that will be like. Bill Gates said that we tend to overestimate what will happen within the next 2 years, and we tend to massively underestimate what will happen in 10 years. I think he's got that pretty much spot on. So I'd like to give you a concrete example of how difficult it is for our brains to cope with exponential. And we'll do that with some steps. So think about going for a walk. If you take a step, and the step's a metre. Now I know for most of us it's probably less than a metre, but let's for simplicity's sake call it a metre. If you take one step, it's a metre. If you take two, it's 2 metres. If you go 31 linear steps, that's 31 metres. Now an exponential step, on the other hand, is where every step is 2 times the step before. So if you take the first step is 1 metre, the second step is 2 metres, the third step is 4, the fourth is 8, the fifth is 16. And if you add up those numbers, after five exponential steps, you get to 31 metres. So how far do you think you go in 31 exponential steps? Is it to the end of the road? Is it to the city? Is it to the next town? Is it to the next city? Is that too far? What do you think? Well, it turns out the answer is it's over 26 times around the circumference of the Earth. Almost 27 times around the Earth is 31 linear steps. You go, whoa. And so that's the challenge that we have with our brains. We tend to massively underestimate exponential. So what's the takeout? What can you do to deal with that? Well, realise that when you're doing your planning, when you're thinking about things, that the brain isn't built. The brain is linear, not built to cope with exponential change. When you're doing your planning, don't just predict linearly. Look at how you might be able to predict in a more exponential way over a longer period of time. Think about how you can go 10 times bigger instead of 10% bigger. And think about how you can use exponential change to your advantage. So that's Mind Bite Thursday. Look forward to catching up with you again next week. Have a fantastic week. That's Campbell, over and out. See ya.